Happy Sunday. Just two things to talk about today. I'm going to talk about gas prices because there's a lot of comments about that in my comment section. And I want to wrap up what I've been talking about all week and show you what your wages should be. First up, gasoline. Gas prices among the cheapest in nearly a decade to start summer. This analyst is from GasBuddy. I've seen comment after comment in my comment section about how getting rid of the carbon tax has done nothing. Gasoline has not come down. You should shop around. I went to GasBuddy and checked it out. These are indeed the prices near me. But that's the price near the highway. There's the spread. I don't know if anybody has that price still. I think that's outdated. But you can see the problem, right? Like from the lowest price, like this, to the highest price, it's about 17 cents a liter. Exactly what the carbon tax was. So the problem is not the gas companies in general. It's the gas station you're going to. Shop around. It makes a difference. But let's check on that price compared to 10 years ago. Adjusted for inflation 10 years ago, $1.19 today be 92 cents. Actual price of gasoline 10 years ago, right there. More than 92 cents. So yeah, gasoline is super cheap at the moment. If you know where to go. All right, let me wrap up what I've been talking about all week in terms of homes being expensive, the cost of homes being expensive, and your wages not keeping up. I showed you this again yesterday. It goes back to, the 1960s in terms of the productivity gap between productivity and wages. And it highlights 1980. So I'm going to use that. I've been looking for the average income in 1979, 1980. I couldn't find a very accurate number. It tends to be around 22, 23 grand. So I went with 23 grand. Right there, 22,986. This is inflation adjusted to 1995 dollars, so that's actually a little high. But given that article from the government of Canada says it's around 20 to 25 grand, that seems to be in the middle. I'm going to go with that. Average price of a house back in 1979, 70 grand. Again, I couldn't find very accurate numbers. They're all around that price. I'm going to go with 70 grand. Average income now, $67,000, $68,000, $69,000 depending on the source. I'm going to go with around 68 grand. Average price of a house, again, depending on the source, 700,000, 680, etc. I'm going to go with 680. I know some of you people in Toronto and Vancouver are thinking 680. It's not even a down payment. Outside your borders, you can get a decent house for that price. And again, we're talking averages, okay? That bottom line is the actual wage growth. That top line is the actual home price growth. That in the middle is where your wages would be if they kept pace with housing. Look, we've been trying to grow wages at around the 2% target. 2.5. That's 2.4% annual growth since 1980. Homes, however, have gone up a little over 5% a year. And what do they say about the stock market? If you're getting 8 to 10% back, that's pretty good. So the expectation for asset growth in the stock market is 8 to 10%. The expectation for home prices is 5%. And the expectation for you is 2%. What if wages went up 5%, like housing? That's what it would be. Would that $680,000 house be a lot easier to carry if two people were each making 223 grand a year? Yeah. Like, let's face it, that would be a larger margin as well. That would probably be higher. But still, if this was closer to this, that would be easier to attain. Because that trajectory probably ain't going to stop. And this trajectory is being controlled. This, obviously, is getting increasingly further away from that. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know this. A 2% target for wages ain't going to cut it. Cars have not gone up 2% a year. Homes have not gone up 2% a year. Most of the things that you need in your life have not gone up 2% a year. Heating your home, electricity, etc. That hasn't gone up 2% a year. That's bullshit. But that, average of 2.4% per year. But just chew on that. That's what your average income should be if it kept pace with the cost of housing.